Need a ride?
You! What are you doing here? Out now. You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum, That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated. It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear. Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. what I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess in there. My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence.
Freeze!
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction, so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
Someone there? Hey, hold it!
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, more poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter, for I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too. As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of the illness or theirs, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
Hey, you freeze! Stop right there.
There, hey!
Hey. Huh? Hey, stop right there. Freeze! Hey, stop right there.
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
They're coming.
Wishes and words sprout from the same seed.
Stop doing that. Mother shan't be too pleased. None too pleased.
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
Guards, lay low and be cleansed by the flames! Kraut is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord. As you burn, tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers. Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers with onions and cheese and some bacon and guacamole.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead? What? Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Buck killed Grout to draw me out. Buck is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout? Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea? I'm glad you find this so amusing. I don't. And do you know why? It means... Under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. This also is very important, so I need to call upon your skill once more. The Ankaran sarcophagus was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. I would like you to bring it back here for safekeeping. Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Here, I'm feeling charitable. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill. One or two, but that's all. My history with that family dates back to Bach's grandfather, who pursued me into Africa, where I killed him. Bach's father tracked me to London to meet his death. And now Bach and the Society of Leopold have followed me across America. They never learn. Witch hunters, an anachronistic holdover from the Middle Ages. They are inquisitors, whose fanaticism has convinced them that their triumph over the supernatural will save mankind and secure them a cushy spot in heaven. A blood hunt is a death sentence. When one commits a high crime against our society, a blood hunt may be called. It is then the responsibility of the city's kindred to bring the offender final death. There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me.
My man, what is up?
Money, right? Been a while. Your money's been piling up. Here, that should provide for an interesting evening.
Maggots love you. Trust me.
I knew you'd talk to me. I swear you were all, like, totally drawn to me. I'm surprised I don't know you. I usually meet all the LA vampires out on the scene. Not a lot of you out tonight, which is weird, because I don't know of any parties going on. No, come on. It's totally cool. I'm Patty. Seriously, everyone knows me. Besides, I just wanted to ask you if you've seen someone. His name is Kent Allen Ryan. He's a Toreador. Really good looking, dresses really well, like all Prada usually. Oh, well, he's pretty powerful. He's probably, like, too far behind the scenes for you to know about him. Maybe you know some of the people who work for him. No, don't go. I really need to find him. Really. Maybe you can ask around. Oh, look. I haven't seen him in days. He said he'd come see me again. He promised. I might age. He promised I wouldn't get thirsty. Well, fine. You're just some no-dick fledgling. I've hung out with way more powerful vampires than you'll ever know. I wouldn't drink your gutter blood if you were the last vampire on Earth.
Hop in. Cemetery runoff congealing at the door. Souls draped in rotten tatters, and father dances in the dark.
Stop right there. Hey, stop right there.
Cemetery runoff congealing at the door. I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull. I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation. Since it's missing, I'm inclined to believe it was stolen, or intentionally misplaced, if you like. Clearly, though, it's not here. Interesting choice of words. Weren't you here to take it away? Wouldn't that make you an attempted thief? That definitely doesn't make it theft. If I stole it, I would know where it was, and most likely wouldn't be looking for it here. Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk. The antediluvians? No one I know has ever met one. But each bloodline or clan supposedly traces its origin to an antediluvian. Some say these grandsires still exist into the present. But then, kindred and kind believe a lot of strange things. Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree. Cain, who I assume you mean, is the biblical first kindred and founder of the mythological first city, Enoch, a place where kindred and kind coexisted. I believe Cain's a figure concocted to personify the transition from nomadic society to agrarian society. That myth, like most, has been twisted by time. Thin bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the dissipation of every bloodline. Somewhat of an ignorant reactionary response, don't you think? As I said, many cultures have the fear of some form of apocalypse. Kindred believed in these stories when they were human, and naturally carried them over into kindred myth. But it doesn't take a supernatural act to cause widespread destruction. Humans and kindred are just as capable of managing their own destruction as a deity. A self-realized Gehenna warrants more vigilance than a god-induced one, don't you agree? Such is my argument, which so frequently falls on deaf ears. What prophecy doesn't have vague, apocryphal signs? Let's see. The usual ones cited are the appearance of thin bloods, Cain sightings, doom, gloom, that route. For 300 years I've been trying to determine the function of our existence, the kindred's role in the world. I'm not content to attribute it to some act of supernatural biblical vengeance. We exist for a reason, and if it takes another 300, I'll figure it out. Any thoughts? Can't say I've heard that one before. My sentiments exactly, but there's time to rectify that. Well, my work here is stolen away into the night. Think I'll do the same.
Oh, excuse me. Starting to doze off there. Oh, I need to get a guard animal of some sort to alert me when folks come in. Maybe one of them chimps like on that show Ape Detective? Oh, that monkey always gets his man. What? Oh, yeah, Mr. LaCroix's expecting you. For a young guy, he sure likes to work late. Me, I spent most of my youth in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I guarded the sets for over 6 top 10 TV shows.
The folly of leadership is knowing that no matter what you do, behind your back there's hundreds, certain that their own solution is the sounder one, and that your decision was the byproduct of a whimsical dart toss. I pronounce the blast sentence, and I soak the critical fallout. I make the decisions no one else will. Leadership. I wear the albatross and a bullseye. The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If a war ignites, it's my head they will sharpen the pikes for. Now to the matter of the sarcophagus. Do you need assistance bringing it up? Stolen? Stolen? How? Who would... Oh... Gary. Gary, you treasonous maggot. I should have anticipated your treachery, sewer rat. The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. It's obvious to me now. My mistake. I want him found. I want him found. The sarcophagus could be exploited, causing who knows what catastrophe to this city if it were to fall into the wrong hands. The Nosferatu lurk in the filth below the streets of Hollywood, but not even I know just where they hide. Hollywood is... unfortunately lacking in any Camarilla loyalties. Hollywood's baron is an anarch named Isaac. Isaac's more civil than the anarchs downtown, but nonetheless he wears his mistrust of me on his sleeve. He may know how to contact the Nosferatu. Find Gary and get him to talk. That sarcophagus could be used against us. Do not come back until you have it. Now, I must announce the blood hunt and bear the brunt of all consequences. Escort him out.
Going somewhere? Ain't seen you here before. And if I haven't seen you, neither has Isaac. So that's your next stop. Isaac's in the jewelry store at the end of the street. Consider yourself invited.
Queen, where all is
Good evening, Neonate. Isaac Abrams. I've been expecting you. Seems the wooden soldiers of the Camarilla shuffle in a little too often these nights. That baby-faced two-bit Prince LaCroix got something to say to me? Very courteous of you to stop by. All kindred that enter my domain are expected to introduce themselves. It may seem like an outdated formality, but it serves its purpose. It gives me the opportunity to personally welcome visitors to my domain. It also helps to establish an understanding in advance, so that there are no unfortunate accidents while they are in town. Call me old-fashioned, but this is my barony, and as is tradition, a token of respect must be paid. What I want is a simple exchange. Last week I paid for a certain item, a movie, and this evening I got an email saying that the seller is ready to deliver it. Unfortunately, he's become a bit paranoid all of a sudden. Won't meet me in person, won't drop it off, won't even answer his phone. Says he'll send the location of the pickup to a computer in the nearby internet cafe tonight. You see where I'm going with this? Go to the Ground Zero Internet Cafe, look for a directory named Joseph K, and use the password Kafka. There'll be an email in there that will specify a nearby location. Meet the contact, pick up the item, come back. Not too painful, right? Excellent. In the meantime, consider yourself a welcome guest in my barony. Welcome to Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, is that you? Everyone was worried sick about you. When you didn't show up and didn't call and nobody knew anything about what happened to you, we thought you were dead. Are you okay? You know what? Never mind. We have to help you. It's me, Samantha. Don't you... Did you suffer amnesia? Is that it? Let me make a call. We'll get everybody together. We can talk. Maybe you'll remember something. The important thing is that they know that you're alive. Come on, this is serious. I know it's you. Don't you recognize me? It's me. It's Samantha. What happened to you? But your face, you look exactly the same. It's uncanny. I can't believe it. Yeah. Sorry. My mistake.
You're in for it now.
Yeah? What do you want? What? Blood Baron? What the hell? Who are you? Didn't Isaac send... damn. You must have the wrong guy. I don't know what you're talking about. Get lost. All right. Sorry. It's just that... I mean, something is... I just want out of this whole thing. I don't want anything to do with that damn tape. I don't know. I mean, when it comes to video, I've seen everything. And I do mean everything. But this thing, it's sick. It can't be real, but it is. I know it. It's real, and it scares the hell out of me. I don't have it. I stashed it someplace. Look, you need to find Ginger Swans. Huh? What the hell was that? Oh, shit. Did you see that? I'm getting the fuck out of here. What the... Oh, Christ!
The moon is out, everyone's in dreamland, and
What's
you've
up?
turned into the Deb of Night.
Welcome to
Nobody
Red
to fall
Spot,
asleep
home of the
next
Monster
to?
Chug.
Go
72
ahead and pull the
ounces of
radio
your
into
favorite
bed.
beverage for
That's what
89
I'm here
cents.
for.
Blah, blah.
And
You need
hey,
help or
why
something?
Don't you call me sometime. Area code 323-KL5-KTRK.
Humility? Seriously.
Looks like somebody's been waiting.
You
in
want
the
some
queue quite a
orange
while
juice or
speak
something to help
yours
you come
truly.
down? Because,
So,
like,
caller,
you're
why
wigging.
aren't you asleep?
Insects.
Insects. As in you have an insect problem?
Oh, are
or
you that
chirping
lawyer?
crickets are keeping you
You're gonna
up,
have to talk to the
or
manager, dude.
you have
Because like
nightmares
that
about
sexual
them. Help me
harassment
out.
case, I like don't even know.
Don't you know?
Okay, and
When
like
you fall
it wasn't
asleep,
my
they can
ass who
crawl
grabbed.
into your mouth or your ears or your nose. You can't prevent it if you're asleep.
This isn't gonna turn out to be ironic, is it?
Are there
You're
any
not like a
scientists out there
serial
listening to
killer, are
this?
you?
I read something. I don't know where, but
Always.
you know the
You
average
should come out and
person
see my
eats
band,
several
a bowl of
pounds
cereal. We're playing tomorrow night at Crematorium. $5, 2 drink men. We're gonna ruin the place.
As soon as you close your eyes, a big fat centipede is
Yeah,
gonna drop into
the
your mouth and
Vesuvius
crawl down
rocks. They don't let me in anymore, but damn, the girls
I never
in there,
sleep
dude.
at night.
It's
You
like
know, they
midget
voluntarily
smuggling
eat insects in some countries.
Yeah, well, those countries probably need
Hey, you know,
So,
you should
never
really
sleep at
ask me
night.
about
I
special,
assume you
you
do
know?
sleep, right?
I sleep at work.
And what exactly do you do?
I'm glad you asked that, bro. Seeing as
That
how
would
you look
explain why my
trustworthy or
nephew
something.
invested that 20 I
I got
sent him
this
for his
special
birthday
where you
on
buy some
magic
really
beans.
expensive burrito
It's always
tots or
good to know that the
grape
future
juice.
of our country
You
is
get
in
a
good
free
hands,
weapon
isn't
of your
it?
choice, bro.
Oh boy.
You interested?
Let's see who else we got. Caller, what do you do for a living?
I'm Roger.
Okay, and what do you do, Roger?
I'm a writer, Deb.
So, have you written any movies I might have seen?
Well, I actually haven't finished any screenplays yet.
I see. So, have you done any other kinds of writing?
Well, just some outlines right now, but I've got some really good ideas for some stories that are crawling around in the old noggin.
So, if you haven't really written anything, how can you call yourself a writer? Because I once fixed my toilet doesn't make me a plumber, right?
Well, you see...
Is there anyone in this city that doesn't call themselves a writer or actor or director? Don't you think you're doing a disservice to those who actually make their living in those art forms by deeming yourself something you're not or not even trained to do?
Well, I think I'm pretty good at knowing what's good writing from bad writing.
Well, wouldn't that make you a critic? Let's see if anyone else agrees. Line 2. Are you ready for a menage a trois?
Sure thing, Deb.
And would you please state what you do for a living?
I'm a personal assistant for a producer at Parasite Studios.
Perfect. Do you read a lot of screenplays?
Don't get me started.
Well, for our writer on the phone, here's your big chance to pitch your screenplay. Is that okay, line 2?
Sell me, dude.
Well, okay.
don't say.
Okay, so this guy, he's like an FBI agent, but, you know, he doesn't really work for the main FBI. And, he's got this partner who's new and really cute, but she's also a really good agent. And they're like assigned to this bizarre case where people are being killed in really strange ways. And then, like, something happens and the girl agent gets kidnapped by the killer.
Something happens.
Yeah, well, I haven't quite figured it out yet, but, like, the guy agent notices, like, how the killer seems to know everything he's doing, like, one step ahead of him. And then there's this kind of, you know, weird chase scene, and then, like, we find out that the guy's got two personalities, and, like, he finds out in the end that he's the killer, and then he's kidnapped his own partner.
Well, Line 2, what do you think? You're gonna option it or not?
Writer dude?
Roger.
Roger, would you like my professional opinion?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Dry the corpse in the oven with peppers and fur. I'll scream.
You made good time. Hand me the item.
Bone rattle
Did you at least make a good excuse?
laden rains.
You didn't.
Tallow from the
Ginger Swan. Swan. Not an animal. A name. Brings back a lot of memories. 70 years ago, wasn't a man in this city that wouldn't have given up his family, career, or anything else for one night with her. That depends. You believe in an afterlife? Ginger Swan's been dead since the 50s. 20 years after, there were still grown men weeping at her grave. I don't know how she's relevant, but I have faith you will figure it out.
Hey, you slick. Prince of Porn. Yeah, Flynn, the Prince of Porn. The Senator of Smut, the Duke of Depravity. I like you, kid. You're a little weird, but hey, this is Hollywood. The name's Flynn. I'm the proprietor of this here establishment. Anything you want, you can get at the sin bin. Depraved ain't a four-letter word here. You know what I'm talking about? The sin bin? Man, we've got filth of every flavor. Just tell me what makes your bits tingle, Jack. I'll set you right up. Man, we got everything you'll ever need. Softcore, hardcore, gay, straight, farm, or furry. We got shockers, shivers, self-lubricators, and strap-ons. Chains, crops, and canes are in the back next to the triple ripples. Like I said, we got it all. Yeah? What do you want to know?
Cranberry sauce.
Ginger
Hotel
Swan?
Foxtrot.
No, name doesn't ring a bell. But I've got plenty of videos about Ginger Twister. Man, the things that girl can do. I got a new one called Confessions of a High School Yoga Instructor. Man, I wish my gym classes were like that. Yeah? What do you want to know?
Where have my eyes gone?
Hollywood. What do you want to know about it? Which ones? The Asshole. It's just across the street. Some uptight Hollywood club where the drinks cost too much and the girls put out too little. Which ain't bad for me. Most of the drunk, horny assholes come straight to my place after last call. Which ones? We got all you need right here, but if you like, second-rate smut, head up the street to Vesuvius. One of the strippers actually owns the place. You should see the rack of lamb on that one. Which ones? The old Asian theater? It's been closed for a while. Place gives me the freaking creeps. Seems like everyone's got a Hollywood ghost story, but you walk by that place and look at it, you'll swear something's looking back. Yeah? What do you want to know?
Dark, dreaming, sleep.
What can I do for you, Slick?
That's a good idea.
Whoa there, Slick. Might want to think about knocking next time I damn near blew your hat off. Thought you might be a zombie. Who else would be waltzing in here in the middle of the night? Name's Romero. I'm the caretaker here. Well, that is, I don't exactly keep people from getting in, although that is part of my job. No, you see, I'm here to make sure nothing gets out. See, it's like this. Every night around this time for the past, several months now, the dead have been getting up with an itch to stroll down Hollywood Boulevard. Nobody knows why, but they're working on it. Till they figured out they needed a volunteer to patch the problem, and I stepped forward. Problem temporarily solved, the Baron's happy, I get to shoot zombies, and guarantee I get my blood for another month. I've carved out a nice niche here. You're telling me. As far as I know, I'm the only person around Hollywood who considers marksmanship an art. A lot of the stiffs around here used to be asshole celebrities, too. Bonus. I love my job, what can I say? By the way, hey, you wouldn't be interested in watching the place while I go handle some business, would you? I'm not supposed to leave, or it might end up in a zombie holocaust or something. Like one time these goths snuck in. Ooh, wasn't pretty. Well, if you change your mind, you know where I'll be. Careful not to let anything out as you leave.
Don't have it, do you? I didn't doubt you'd find this, and I apologize if I was overly imperious before. A reflex action. I get a lot of young blood in here forgetting their place. I'll assist you as reasonably as I can with your task. But first, this tape. I'm in a hurry to find out what's behind all the hype, so get comfortable. I do have a feeling that whatever's here may be of use to both of us.
Help me,
Maggots love you. Trust me.
It's more disturbing than I was led to believe. You can understand my concern now, can't you? It just so happens that around the time this snuff film started circulating, the Nosferatu disappeared. I tried to elicit their help in tracking down the source, and for the first time in all these years, I was dismayed by their absence. Usually, I just put the word out I'm looking for them, and sooner or later, they appear. I assume it does. It's awfully coincidental otherwise. And those creatures. I don't know how many professional FX houses could pull those off. There's a problem, though, in that the film's incomplete. The first half is damaged. We need a complete copy. Behind the spit-shine gloss of the Hollywood Dream Factory, there's another city churning out a vile byproduct for the furtive consumption of a debauched audience. I have no doubt the film's found its way to another smut peddler. I'd ask around.
I'll scream